What is going on, research team? It is DJ, yes, and we have Origins. Holy bananas, this shit looks crazy. We got our old characters back, that's good. We're in some trenches, that's bad. We got some robots, that's even worse. So it's looking like we're going back, all the way maybe to 1917, to the very beginning. Our characters look really, really young, in my opinion. Richtofen's got a mustache, and Takeo doesn't have so many wrinkles on his face, but it looks like we're going back to the beginning. It's showing us, the trailer's showing us some old maps, you know, but we're not going to get all those old maps back. Maybe as a bonus, but we're not going to get all of them, and I don't think they're going to be with Origins, which I don't think they are. I think we get 4 multiplayer maps, and then we get the Origins. But what's interesting is we had Darius, which was, you know, called the Giant if you translate that to English, and a lot of people are speculating that this might be where this huge robot was built by Maxis. And you know what's even more funny is when you finish the Maxis side of the Easter egg in Buried, you know how we get those tremors, everything is shaking, everything's turned to orange. Maybe we had released these beasts, these robots. Maxis, I think, might be controlling these robots. I think what's going to happen is when we see these for the first time, you'll see Maxis sitting on this robot's shoulder, and he's just controlling him. Maybe Maxis will actually be the puppeteer here with these robots, and it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a battle. Another interesting point I want to bring up is you see in the release of the image of the DLC, the Apocalypse DLC, you see these kind of like portals that are coming from the ground to the sky. I'm not too sure if we were maybe digging to get to Agatha, or were we digging to get to these robots. I'm not even too sure where the robots were. We didn't see any inclination of these robots. Also, these portals, these electrical clouds that are in the sky, where have we seen this before? In my actually previous video before this one, what we know, what we don't, I show you the electrical cloud in the back of Nuketown. This has to be a portal of some sort that is either reaching Agatha or is releasing these robots. But there is a portal there, and I'll show you here, but it's I think Nuketown still has a significant part in the storyline. Another thing I want to touch on is if you look at the image of the DLC that's got all 4 maps and then the Origins map, if you look closely, you see like a full-on mech robot on the left side. And then if you scoot over to the right a little bit, you see a huge robot, but it looks almost like a humanoid, which is kind of funny. And then all the way on the very right, you see like these Cyclops robots. So I don't know what the hell's going on, but we got a whole bunch of robots here, different kinds maybe, and it looks like maybe the humanoid could have been maybe built by Richtofen, and then the one on the very left that looks full-on robotic could be Maxis. And then I have no idea what's going on with the Cyclops ones, but I mean, maybe, like I said earlier, maybe we have some sort of big, crazy robot battle as a finale. But it's definitely possible looking at this Origins map pack DLC image. But I do have some intel from Black Ops 1 in the menu screen when we were going through the computer files. It said something along the lines of, and I'm going to quote this: "The experiments continue and the Rushtag call it a success, but these creatures cannot be controlled." So he's saying these creatures as in there's more than one. Their minds are lost. They are automatons. An automaton is robots. And I don't know why I didn't see this earlier, but I was thinking that he was talking about automatons as in the zombies were, you know, robotic in that sense. But I think he's talking about the Giant. And then he goes and he says, "This is the Rushtag wanted. Between the teleporters and our undead army, they believe the world will be theirs. But the undead cannot be contained. It spreads far worse than ever imagined. It will be the death of us all. I hope that you are receiving this transmission static. If you are not, then all is already lost. You must know by now that we failed to contain the asylum, that we have to move the experiment here. Location, the numbers will guide you. The giant must remain. So the giant, I'm not too sure, it's contained somewhere, but it wasn't apparent until now, until we actually helped Maxis get him out of whatever he was in the beginning. So Maxis, being the conniving little devil he is, he was actually, you know, pretty much the bad guy this whole time. And I think everyone had known that by now since he blew up the Earth. And this is probably what's happening. We blew up the Earth. We open up more portals. It's easier for Maxis to actually access the core of the Earth at this point after we blew it up. But in the expense of, you know, killing off all of mankind, Richtofen is probably trying to save the world, all of mankind. So it's pretty crazy stuff at the moment. I can't really grasp if this is really the end or if this is really the beginning of the end. I think it's just some sort of crazy ass loop that we're being spewed into right now. There's also talk about when we were in Nock that there was this plane that was crashed down in there, and there is one there. And then one of our characters, Nikolai, he's got like an aviator's kind of helmet on and some glasses. Maybe he was controlling that plane. I mean, it's just a theory. Controlling that plane crashed into Nock, and that's where it started. Another thing is we see the blood vials, and those actually have the inmates' numbers of what we have in Mob of the Dead. So I was probably wrong in thinking that Mob of the Dead didn't have any significance, because I had thought portrayed it as a celebrity map, and you know, Call of the Dead, Mob of the Dead, kind of the same thing. But you know, maybe I was kind of wrong about that. Maybe there is a little bit of snippet of significance in both those maps, especially in Mob of the Dead right now. So this new Origins map, we're gonna have some sort of drone and some sort of tank, and there's a lot of speculation about this. The tank, people are saying that it's going to take you from place to place in the map. I'm not too sure about that. I mean, it could be like a Green Run Transit kind of map. And then you got to build a tank like in Mob of the Dead. And then we're talking about a lot of staff wonder weapons. Something about building all the wonder weapons, especially a staff wonder weapon, and taking down this robot. And it could be it. I know that a lot of the wonder weapons that we get in these maps are going to be significant to the Easter egg. So maybe taking down this giant is going to be one of the things that we need to do for the Easter egg. Maybe it's the end. We have to, you know, kill off the giant. I also believe that the trenches, you know how when we played Buried, we had kind of like that hedge maze that we had to go through. I think the trenches are going to be very similar. And maybe that'll be the only time that we actually see the robot, and then we kind of have to squeeze through these trenches. The robot's gonna be in our face, and then when we make a wrong turn, that robot will squash us, you know, preventing us from actually bringing that giant down. And then we have some sort of ancient tomb or some sort of undiscovered ancient place that they kind of quote us at, kind of hint us at in this map. And a lot of people are saying that this might be the tomb of Cornelius Purnell, and I'm not 100% sure. I need to look into it a little bit more about Cornelius Purnell, but I know that he's discussed in some of the CIA files in Black Ops 1 in the menu screen, just like how we were talking about the automatons and the giants that must remain. So I need to look into that a little bit more. But right now, it's looking like we're having August 27th date on this. I'm sure everyone in the world is going to be on, calling out of work, calling out of school. I mean, this is it. This is the last map that we're going to get for another 2 years until Black Ops 3, quote-unquote, comes out. And I think that they're going to give us another cliffhanger. They can't end zombies, to be honest with you, because it's such a powerful aspect of the Black Ops games that Treyarch implements. So I think we're going to get another cliffhanger. We're going to have some sort of big finale, like I was discussing in the earlier video where I was theorizing the old characters coming back, and it's gonna leave something really big, and then we're gonna have to wait another couple years to get this. So I'm really excited. Hope you guys are. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. I love reading your guys' comments. And one more thing before I let you go, I am going to be on It's YouTube Dudes podcast, which will be released today. And I'll send you a link down in the description if you guys want to hear that. And we discuss a little bit of Origins and touch on some news here and there. But I was very pleased to actually be featured on his podcast, and shout out goes to him and thanking him. But anyways, guys, this is DJ. I'll be looking for a trailer sometime today, hopefully. If not, maybe Tuesday. DJ here with Superior Zombie Research Team. I'm Labsy. I'm out, guys.
The Zombie Research Team. Follow the research on Twitter at Bashar Zanal.